Welcome. What can we get for you?
1 bottle of water, please.
That will be 50 naira.
Here you go. Thank you.
This soup is amazing, so flavorful. I know, right? Pass me a bottle. Here you go. Cheers. Cheers.
You think I don't know your secret plans? I got us all the connections we need. I invested my time and strength in this business too. Emeka, you're a liar and a manipulator. And I can't believe I believed and trusted a Yoruba man like you.
A very long time ago, in the restless city of Benin, where wealth and danger shared the same home, power wasn't given, rather it was taken by strong men, and no other men understood that better than Chief Nnemeka Okonkwo and Chief Adewale Kings. Years ago, when they were so young and full of life, they were partners, brothers in business, not by blood. They ate at the same table, protected each other. They both had same ambition, and together they built an empire of oil smuggling business in the town. Political leverage and signed contracts that made powerful men tremble at the mention of their names. Money flowed like champagne, and loyalty was sealed with blood. Not until one night, everything shattered. A shipment worth billions vanished at Apapa Seaport in Lagos. Guns were drawn, accusations flew wide, and Chief Okonkwo believed that Chief Adewale Kings had betrayed him, and in the other hand, Adewale sworn Okonkwo had set him up. Pride swallowed their reasoning. Grief replaced brotherhood, and by sunrise, the alliance was dead. What followed was war between the two bosses. Their warehouses got burned. Their men disappeared on daily basis. Headlines talked about gang violence, but the streets of Lagos and the streets of Benin knew better. It was all about Chief Okonkwo versus Chief Adewale. A deadly big rattle war. A battle so ruthless that even politicians avoided choosing sides. For over 20 years, hatred was inherited like a family land, and their children, who didn't know anything, suffered. Zara Okonkwo grew up behind guarded gates, educated abroad. She was taught never to trust easily. She knew her father had lots of enemies, but she never asked questions. In her words, silence meant safety, and her mother, Mrs. Okonkwo, a pretty ebony woman from Nnewi, queen of her father's empire, beautiful and elegant. She sold gold wristwatches, anklets, necklaces, and earrings. Her store was always full with goods. And Daniel King, on the other hand, hated the empire his father built. Though raised in luxury, he longed for a life untouched by bloodshed, and he just wanted a normal life with no bodyguards, no paparazzi following him up and down. He secretly studied architecture, drawing of buildings, homes instead of destroying them like his father did. At an art exhibition in Victoria Island, Lagos, they met on a rainy afternoon. Zara stood quietly before a painting of two wolves facing each other across a burning forest. Tragic, Daniel said beside her. Or stubborn, she replied softly. That was how it began. They talked for hours at the cafe. No bodyguards, no last names exchanged. Just two strangers drawn together by something deeper than coincidence. They were a match made in heaven. Few years later, they met again in the hospital. Zara had now become a medical doctor, and Daniel was rushed into the emergency ward from an accident that happened at work, and she was the only doctor available to treat him. Daniel, what happened to you? She asked, and was surprised to see him again. Daniel was unconscious. She treated his wound, and in few days, She came visiting him at his hospital room. They talked for a while and hung out often over coffee after his recovery. In few days, it turned into long drives. Their late-night conversations turned into confessions, and confessions turned into love. Neither of them knew their families' names, were carved into each other's nightmares. And soon, the truth exploded on Zara's birthday party. Daniel arrived at her mansion with flowers, unaware it was heavily guided because of the recent assassination attempt on Chief Okonkwo's life. The very moment Chief Adewale King's son stepped out of his car, guns were raised at him, one aiming to his head and the other on his heart. The world froze. Daniel could not breathe properly anymore inside the mansion hall. A heavy-bodied built security man whispered to Chief Okonkwo about Daniel's presence in his territory. Chief Okonkwo's glass fell from his hand. A king? He growled. Chief Adewale watched through surveillance footage from his own compound miles away. He nearly had a stroke when informed his son was inside Okonkwo's territory. What is Daniel doing at Okonkwo's house? He questioned his security men in rage. And within hours, both fathers arrived at a spot, face to face with their child, armed, furious, betrayed. How could you fall in love with his abominable daughter? Chief Adewale roared at Daniel. How dare you call my daughter abominable? Chief Okonkwo roared back at Adewale. And you, how could you touch my enemy's blood? Chief Okonkwo thundered at Zara with a piercing eyes. Zara was frightened by her father's outburst. She had never seen him in that state. The lovers stood between two armies. Oh, Daddy, I didn't know, Zara cried out, trying to escape from the security men. But we know now, Okonkwo said coldly, while staring at Adewale King. And it ends today. Adewale King roared in anger, returning the same energy. Daniel was locked away in his father's estate for weeks, with constant reminder about how the Okonkwas are evil and a manipulator. Zara's phone was taken from her immediately they got home. Her movement restricted. Both fathers believed separation would cure love like a disease in their children's system. But love, especially forbidden love, only grows stronger when it's under pressure. Daniel escaped one night with the help of his cousin, who his father trusted him with. He was determined to go see Zara that night. No matter what it takes, Zara, I'm coming for you, he whispered to himself while running off. And Zara also bribed a loyal maid, her nanny, who had watched her grow up. They met at the same spot where they normally see and greet. Look, Zara, you are my first and only love. I don't care who your father is, Daniel said, holding her trembling hands. Zara, I will always choose you over my father's inheritance. And Zara smiled and cried a little. And I will always choose you too, she whispered. That's all I think of, choosing you over and over again, Daniel. In that very moment, they made a decision to leave Lagos that evening, leaving their bloodlines, leaving the war between both families. But powerful men do not lose twice. When Chief Okonkwo discovered their plans, he gave out an evil laugh. You think you are smart, you son of a mugu. I will show you I am smarter, and I am an old man in this game. He growled in anger while squeezing a can of water in his hands. He ordered his men to intercept Daniel on his way. Adewale was very furious at his son's defense ordered the same. The long-awaited confrontation happened at Tom Mainland Bridge. Two convoys, two empires, one couple standing between them. Guns aimed, hearts racing. "Enough!" Zara screamed, stepping forward. "Your pride has killed enough people. Must it kill your own children too? Your own flesh and blood?" "Daddy, it's time to stop." Daniel stood beside her. "You taught me loyalty, father, but you never taught me hatred. You taught me that people deserve a second chance. From what I heard, you two were like brothers. Why not forgive each other and let's move forward?" For a moment, something cracked in Chief Adewale's hardened eyes. Okonkwo looked at his daughter, the only person who ever softened him in minutes, the only one who could walk into his study room without knocking. And for the first time in 20 years, the two mafia bosses looked at each other not with rage, but exhaustion. All this war, for what? A misunderstanding neither had truly investigated, a pride neither had swallowed, a brotherhood neither had properly mourned. Chief Okonkwo lowered his gun first, and gently Adewale followed him. The men around them hesitated, then slowly did the same. A different legacy. Peace did not come overnight, but for the sake of their children, the two empires called a truce. Investigations later revealed the lost shipment had been stolen by a third party who thrived on their rivalry. The war had been built on manipulation, many years of bloodshed. For a lie? Zara was already pregnant with Daniel's child, so they quickly got married quietly before anyone noticed. No headlines, no big show or big wedding. Just two families forced to sit at the same table, not as enemies, but as reluctant in-laws. The whole city gossiped about the wedding for months, but slowly the violence reduced and their businesses became legitimate. Investments replaced assassinations. Two men who once ruled through fear began to learn something unfamiliar: mercy and peace. And the children who were never meant to meet before became the bridge between two broken empires. Because sometimes the greatest rebellion isn't war, it is love. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like this video and please subscribe for more powerful emotional stories like this, because my next story might change how you see love forever. Bye.